Hey guys, Shelly here. Today we are going to be pressure canning bone broth and egg drop soup. So stick with me and I'll show you how I do it. I am just getting started. So I have my bone broth heating in this pan. I've got my egg drop soup. This is egg drop soup with chicken and kale from our garden. I've got both of these heating up. Here is my pressure canner, and I've got water in it. Let's see, there you go. Now you can see it. To my fill line, I'm getting this hot. I've got my jars over here. These have been sterilized. And what I do, now that these are clean and sterile, I will just put a little bit of water in here. And y'all see my clean dishes over here. I'm gonna be cleaning up while this is going on. So once my jars are clean, I put a little bit of water in them and put them in the canner so that they can start heating up along with the pan. All right, got my coffee and I've got my soup simmering. It's ready to go. Wanted to show you my container here. This is what I keep all my canning stuff in. This is a jar liquid. We'll be using that today. And this is a lid magnet so that I can get the lids out of the hot water. So these are the tools. These are my lids and all kinds of other stuff. It's just so I know where to find stuff. And let's get to work. All right, so we're gonna get our first jar out. And I told y'all I fill these with water, so I'm gonna dump the water into the pot. This in this hand. These are hot, so you wanna be careful with them. Oh, and I forgot one thing. Just 1 second. I'm trying to get my funnel without dropping everything in the cabinet on top of it. You want a funnel that fits in these jars. So we're gonna start with the bone broth. I'm gonna go ahead and turn this fire off. We don't need that on. Mainly because I'm gonna have the towel right up against it and I don't want to catch anything on fire today. All right, so I'll begin filling this. All right. Set my funnel on top of here. So you want to leave a decent amount of headspace. I'm not sure what the book actually calls for, but this looks good to me. I've got a clean dish towel, so I'm just going to wipe the rim, and this jar is starting to get really hot through this towel. Okay, I'm going to use my magnetic lifter. I put my lids in here so they are getting hot too. We're just gonna put that on there. Put our screw lid on, and you don't want to over tighten it. You don't want to under tighten it. Just kind of do it till finger tight. And that's it for this part. Okay, so we have all of our jars filled now. They're all in here. And I don't know if you noticed, but in the fast motion, not slow motion. In the time lapse, I started dumping the water from the jars into this pot because I didn't want to increase the water level that much in the pot. And because it was boiling hot water, I didn't really want to waste it. So I put it in the pot, and I'm gonna go dump that on some weeds right off the deck in a little bit. So it is time to put our lid on. Let's see if you can see this. See here? It says open and close, and it has a little arrow there. Let's see if I can put it on the right way. All right, so it fits down, and then you can feel it in the grooves, and it closes. I'm gonna turn it so that I can see the pressure gauge. And now what we wanna do is we wanna wait until we have a completely steady stream of steam coming out of here. Once we have that, we will put our little pressure cap on right here, and we'll watch the gauge go up, and I'll show you what we're gonna do. See you in a minute. We have our steady stream of steam going now, and so I'm just gonna go ahead and pop that on there. And let's see, can you see this little valve right here? Whenever the pressure builds up, this valve is gonna pop up, and that's gonna lock everything. And that's when this pressure gauge will start moving up. And we want it to be at 10 pounds of pressure. So as this starts going up, I'll let you see it in just a minute. I wanted you to see this. We have a lot of steam. We even have some water coming out over here. Don't be alarmed. Perfectly normal. It's doing exactly what it's supposed to do. It's getting really close to popping up. We'll leave it on for just a second and see if it'll go ahead and pop up. It's getting closer. There it goes. Okay, so that is popped into place. And now we're gonna watch this pressure gauge. Let me see if I can move you down here. There's the pressure gauge. And it will start going up. And like I said, we're gonna go to 10 pounds of pressure. Okay, so we are up to a little bit over 5 pounds of pressure. I'm not sure why my pressure gauge is kind of fogged up, but that's okay, I can still see the numbers. And what you do is you adjust the heat. Sorry, I've got salt all over my stove. You adjust the heat to adjust the pressure. So as this goes up and gets closer to 10, I will begin turning the heat down on the stove so we can maintain that 10 pounds of pressure. We have made it up to 10 pounds of pressure. I've already turned the temperature back just a little bit, but I'm going to turn it down to medium and just watch the pressure. I've already got my timer started. We're going to keep it at 10 pounds of pressure for 20 minutes. Whenever the 20 minutes is up, you just go ahead and turn your temperature completely off and let this pressure go back to 0 without you touching anything. Don't ever, ever, ever try to take this off or try to take the lid off whenever there's pressure. And that's how you get injured and burned really bad. So we're gonna sit here and watch this for 20 minutes and we'll be back. This process takes time. You have to be really patient. See, the pressure is still not off. You want that pressure all the way down. You want this little thingy right there to fall down naturally. This has been turned off for probably at least 20 minutes now. So just be patient and let the pressure come off all by itself. Now we're finally down to 0 pressure. As you can see, this went down on its own. You can't hear it anymore. So I'm gonna go ahead and remove this. Look, no steam comes out. That's a good thing. I'm gonna put this back in the drawer where I keep it so I can find it next time. I'm gonna see if I can open this with one hand while I'm holding the phone. So I'm gonna turn it, try to get that unlocked. Hard to do with one hand. There it goes. And now you want to be really careful because there is still steam in there, okay? So you don't want your hands or your face out like I am with the steam coming out. See, don't do what I do. All right, let me put this down so I can get the tripod and use two hands. Now, we'll do it the correct way. Take both sides, open it away from your face and away from your hands. That way you're not burning your hands, you're not burning your face. That is the proper way to do it. Don't try to take a shortcut because you're holding the phone. All right, now, can you hear that? Those are your jars still making noise. So what I do is I just take them out. They'll have a little bit of water on top. I just dump that in the pot as I'm lifting. Everybody gets to go sit over here on the side until they are completely cooled. You will begin hearing popping. That means that, let's show you. That means these lids are beginning to seal. That is what you want. Popping is good, as long as it's the lid popping and not a jar popping. Also, see, did you hear that one? It's already starting. Now, I did these in pint-sized jars because they're easier for me whenever I'm cooking. If I need, you know, a cup or two of broth, this is the perfect size. Also, I'm really the only one in the house that eats soup, so I really don't need a quart of it at one time. Here, let me get you off the tripod again and show you. You see that? It's still boiling. Perfectly normal. That's what it's supposed to be doing. But in this pot, I could have stacked these too high. Since I did pints, I could have stacked them one on top of the other and had plenty of room to double the volume. I just didn't have that much broth that I needed a can today. We could have done quarts, we could have done whatever size jars that you have. It's just really whatever you need. This is what I needed for today, and so that's what I did. So that's it. We're just gonna let these cool completely, and then we'll test the seals, and then we'll store them and label them. We have to label them too, because I won't remember later on what I cooked. So stay tuned, we'll be right back. And here's the final product. Everything is cooled off. Now what you want to do whenever these cool is just touch the top of these lids and make sure, it's hard to do when you're looking through the camera, make sure that they are sealed flat. If they're not sealed good, they will bounce back up and pop. That means that you did not get a good seal, and you need to put those in the refrigerator and use them immediately. So I'm just going to label these with what it is and the date. And then you can take the screw caps off, and these are ready to store. So I hope y'all learned something. Let me know if you do pressure canning or if there's other things that you would like to learn about canning, and I'll be happy to share my knowledge with you. See you guys later.